So, we are enjoying the final days of October. October is my absolute favorite month of the year. The leaves are changing, the temperatures have dropped, it's sweater, weather, hot cocoa season. And we here at the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, are fortunate that we enjoy all 4 seasons in this region all year round. Each season brings its beauty, its own beauty. Tonight I want to talk about, just like in the natural we have the different seasons, we have life seasons. And I want to discuss and go over 3 critical life seasons that mark us for success. The first season is the season of failures and rejections. You know, a lot of people see this as a challenging season, but really failures is a place where you get up and you learn from it. So, years ago, I was on a tiny island. And I got dumped by someone I wasn't even officially dating. I was dumbfounded. It's like, how did this happen? I was shocked. I was numb. A week later, I flew to Washington, D.C. to take a very important exam that I had my heart set on. I absolutely failed miserably. Days after that, I took another exam that should have been easy peasy, and I flunked. So these series of events took me somewhere I had never been in my life. Depression. I went into depression for several months. It wasn't weeks. It was about 4 or 5 months. Life for Rent by Dido was my favorite album. It was on repeat. Those who know me well know I'm naturally an extroverted person, but these series of events took me into my place. After work, I just wanted to go home, sleep away everything, and not deal with people. Out of the blue, 2 friends called me, friends that normally never contacted me when I travel. So I was shocked, and they said, "Rosa, what's going on? You've been in my spirit. Isn't that beautiful when God sends you people in your time of need?" I was in a rut. I was in the pit. I didn't want to share with them what was going on, so I kept it to myself. Looking back now, about a decade or so later, I thank God that relationship never started, because, you know, being on an island is one thing, coming back to the States is another, right? And looking back, that major exam that could have given me another career path, I am so glad I didn't pass. I would not be happy. I would not do what I'm doing now. So those failures, I look at them as life detours. And a lot of times you may think this season is devastating, but it too shall pass. Which leads me to the second season. And that is the season of silence, where nothing is going on, where you see in the physical nothing. What is going on? I don't know what's happening. On the contrary, my friends, there's a lot happening. Look at it as the cocoon stage. You know, the caterpillar going into its cocoon before it goes into the butterfly and flies off. Same thing. You don't need the noise. You need a season to yourself. We are not the same beings. I'm 43 years old now. I am not the same person I was at 33 or even 23. Thank God for maturity and growth. So, this season of silence, you're starting to realize what you like, what you don't like. You're starting to realize what you're becoming and what you have become. And you start to gain new passion for life, which leads me to my third season, and that's the season of reinventing yourself. So, for those of you who grew up in the 80s, do you remember this commercial? Finger licking good. We do chicken, right? I'm talking about Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders was 62 years old when his secret chicken recipe was no longer a secret, okay? He franchised it at 62. 10 years later, he sold the corporation, his company, for $2 million, which at that time was a lot of money. He passed away in his 90s. KFC is now in over 30 countries, and we see a slew of chains here in the U.S. Mary Kay Ash, Mary Kay Cosmetics. I've used the products. Pretty good stuff. Mary Kay Ash was 45 years old with $5,000 and a crazy dream. A month after her husband unexpectedly passed away because they had the vision together, she continued with that. She pushed. I'm sure she had her time to grieve, but she pushed forward with the vision that her and her husband had. And today, just like KFC, it is an internationally known company. You know, they give away those pink Cadillacs, and they got tons of sales reps everywhere. She was 45 when she started. She passed away in her 80s. Never let a number, your age, stop you from giving birth to your vision. Never let fear stop you from going forward. As I mentioned earlier, I'm 43 years old, and this year, weeks before I turned 43 years old, I became a published author. The name of my book in English is Betrayal by a Father and the Power of Forgiveness. I took it a step further and got it translated into Spanish, La traición de un padre y el poder del perdón, by Rosibel Hernandez. It can be purchased on Amazon, Barnes & Noble online, and iTunes. I had my book signed a few weeks ago. Had you told me 5 years ago you're going to be an author, I would have thought you're crazy. I don't like to write. However, I've been journaling since 2003. And so you never know what you can birth out in the times of silence where you're like, what's going on here? I don't see anything. But there's a lot going on. So let's wrap up those 3 seasons. The first season is the season of failure and rejection, which actually is the seasons of lessons and detours. The second, seasons of silence, which actually is the seasons of transformation. And the third is a season of reinventing yourself, never using your age or where you are in life as an excuse not to move forward. So I want to thank you this evening for allowing me to share on this platform these 3 seasons of life. And I look forward that you start today in pushing forward with your dreams and your visions. Thank you very much.